At the UN's World Health Organization, known as the WHO, nations gather for a summit to finalize a global strategy to deal with the obesity crisis. To satisfy competing interests, the UN wants to make sure they have the science right. A panel of the world's top nutritionists, led by Dr. Carrie Norum, is asked to recommend a safe level of sugar in the diet. This commercial for a no-sugar diet spoofs the sugar industry report that 25% of your food can be safely sugar. At the UN, the Norum Task Force recommends that a diet should be no more than 10% sugar, the equivalent of the sugars in a single can of soda pop.
We see the statistics from many countries now that young people have about 20% of the energy from sugar, and most of that comes from sweetened sodas. Then we have to cry out to see this is dangerous in the long run.
The Norum Task Force report is called 916. To make the 10% sugar level work, it recommends that Big Sugar not be allowed to target children with ads like this. The sugar industry responds by attacking the science. At the UN, Big Sugar is represented by this rep from the sugar food industry and this delegate from the sugar water industry. They duck interviews, but Big Sugar's strong views are available online.
They say your report was junk science, it's not proven. Pop science myth from public health zealots is the notion that the sugar in soda causes obesity. The mass media and public health control freaks build their case on sensationalistic quicksand.
Well, they are shooting themselves in the foot by saying this, because this is ridiculous. People knowing about connection between diet and health know that types of citation is completely wrong and is false lobbying and false. So I'm astonished that a serious industry can use arguments like that.
Dr. Norum has no idea the trouble he is stirring up. His nemesis is this polite, 35-year-old envoy from the Bush administration, William Steiger. The U.S. position on Norum's 916 report is the same as Big Sugar's.
We criticize 916 in part because some of the conclusions were not, in the opinion of the top scientists on nutrition and genetics in the United States, didn't reflect the best science available.
That's not my opinion. I have a very good connection with the best United States scientists on this topic, and they fully endorse it. So it's, if you are picking scientists paid by the industry, you get the answer you want.
The sugar industry's Dr. Anderson dismisses Norum's UN report.
They can have their opinions. I'm just telling you my belief is that the U.S. has produced a science-based report.
Whenever I hear the word science-based, and I'm a scientist, my PhD is in molecular biology. Whenever I hear the word science-based, I know that self-interest is at work. They're not really talking about science. Because if you're really talking about science, you say the science is incomplete and uncertain, but it points in a direction. We have plenty of evidence that kids who drink soft drinks are fatter. That's all. What more do you need?
The U.S. administers the coup de grace. Unless the 10% recommendation on sugar is removed, the U.S. threatens to remove its $300 million in funding to the WHO.
They're worried that if people start doing something about obesity, they'll eat less sugar, and that will be very bad for business.
The Bush administration and Big Sugar send the scientists packing.
We consider that the revised text offers a very balanced compromise between the...
A Motherhood resolution is prepared. All references to the dangers of too much sugar are dropped. In the aftermath, Big Sugar takes radical steps to ensure that the World Health Organization will not act again anytime soon. Dr. Derek Yock, a key architect of the UN strategy on obesity, is demoted and reassigned. Marion Nessel says the industry